In the game Frontiers Reach Mercenaries, humanity has stretched itself across the stars. However, the extent to which humanity has propagated itself into the cosmos is still quite minimal, having only reached out to roughly 100 light-years from Earth. At roughly 80 light-years from Sol, the moon Frontiers Reach is home to the furthest officially recognised human colony, hence the name. While there are other colonies beyond that distance, those colonies exist only because of the hard work and sacrifices of the people who inhabit them. Frontiers Reach, on the other hand, was founded and maintained by the Sol Confederacy before the Frontier War, and the collapse of the Confederacy in the wake of that war. The primary attractor of the moon Frontiers Reach is a compound known as mist. While little is known about how mist is created, it is known that mist is an integral part of the biology of the flora and fauna of the moon, and that refined mist can be used to create both weapons and medicines. However, Frontiers Reach is also home to ancient alien structures that are thousands of years old. Officially, no one has been able to gain access to these structures, but unofficially, the Sol Confederacy is rumoured to have stumbled upon one during exploratory drilling on the moon. The location of this site has never been revealed, but some speculate that the discoveries made there are what helped the Sol Confederacy's expansion during the Frontiers War. What is not known to humanity is that these ancient alien structures were built by a species known as the Via, a species which obtained technological immortality before the founding of the Roman Republic on Earth. For the Via, the advent of technological immortality brought as many problems as it did benefits, and introduced a concept known as true death. True death is the death of the organics that make up their conscious being, organics which are sustained by a biomechanical frame. But the real problem that technological immortality introduced was that of immortal leaders, both tyrannical and benevolent. To reduce the likelihood of previous leaders starting violent revolutions to retake power, emperors are elected for 100-year terms of service. At the end of that term, the emperor, their cabinet, and tens of millions of the soldiers who served under them are interred into a simulation of their own choosing. To power this, the Via construct a vast supercomputer in space that runs this simulation. Around this enormous computational structure, the Via construct an artificial moon. Once completed, the emperor and his constituents are put into combat frames, induced into a hibernation state, and laid to rest in one of the many chambers that lace the interior of the artificial moon. These moons are called mausoleums and are placed at the edge of the Via Empire's territory in space, where they will rest until the end of time, or until duty calls them to defend the Empire. For humanity, the moon Frontiers Reach is a place of danger, opportunity, and prospective riches. For the Via, this moon is called Hel Nora, and is the resting place of one of their most beloved emperors, Gandrius Helnor. To trespass upon this moon is to trespass upon sacred ground, and even if done in ignorance, is one of the highest offences to the Via.